What is up, AFC North football fans, and welcome into another edition of the AFC North Roundtable powered by BetUS. Week 7 in the books. Tonight we turn the page to Week 8, where we have 3 games within the division in the AFC North, including an interdivisional battle. We will preview all of these games in our Week 8 preview episode of the AFC North Roundtable. Before we dive into it, want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Autograph. Make sure to go and download the app. The link's in the description below. You click the link, it'll take you to the Google Play or App Store. You download the app completely free. You use the promo code RTS, and from there, you're ready to go. All you do is choose your favorite team, whether it's the Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers. You select them, and then there, you're going to be given a custom feed. And that's going to be tailored completely to your favorite team with the top podcasts, the top YouTube shows, top tweets, top articles, you name it. It's all in one spot. You're already consuming all this stuff to begin with. You might as well earn fan coins for it, which is what Autograph gives you for consuming all of your favorite fan-oriented content in the app. For every tweet you read, article you read, podcast you listen to, you get fan coins. Those can be redeemed for merch, jerseys, even tickets to your favorite team's game. Like I mentioned, you're already doing all these things. You might as well get rewarded for it. Autograph makes sure that you do. Once again, link in the description below. Click it, download the app, promo code RTS, and you'll be ready to rock. Let's get ready to rock on these Week 8 preview, or Week 8 picks, rather. All the fellas will come on in and let us know who they think is taking the W's home within the AFC North this weekend. And as I mentioned, boys, we do have an interdivisional battle within the division this week, and that's where we will start this evening. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland will be starting Jameis Winston in this game, with Deshaun Watson suffering the season-ending injury this past week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Ken Dorsey will have his first crack at calling plays in lieu of Kevin Stefanski this upcoming week for the Browns as well. Meanwhile, the Ravens coming off another dominant victory over the Tampa Bay Bucks. These Ravens are looking like the best team in football, and this line currently on BetUS would reflect that. Right now, in an interdivisional game on the road, as Zay says, I'm out, the Baltimore Ravens are nearly 20-point favorites on the road. Craziness. If you think the Ravens will cover or the Browns will cover with Jameis Winston, YouTube 150 is the promo code. You get a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit with that code, as well as a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits after that. This is more intriguing than I think meets the eye, fellas, because we're going to get a look at what the Cleveland Browns look like with Jameis Winston at the helm and Ken Dorsey calling the plays. But right now, the Ravens are a buzzsaw. So the question is, can the Browns find a way to turn that buzzsaw off, Mark, or are they walking right into it? What happens on Sunday between these two bitter rivals?
Look, it's the AFC North. They can definitely find a way to turn something off or slow something down. I'm a bit intrigued about Winston. Like, just one quick question to say, and then I'll continue. Is this Winston's first start for the Browns ever?
Yep.
Yeah, first start. Okay. So, yeah, look, the defense can definitely, I think, can keep up with Lamar, but I don't think they shouldn't be mega favorites going into Cleveland Browns Stadium in that sense. But at the same time, as frustrating as it is to right now, and being in where Sam's sitting and he's the new host and he's here, they're a good football team. And they're running through everyone. Sorry, last year I said 7.1. It's like Derrick Henry's like 6.9 yards rushing. Lamar Jackson throwing 5 TDs. He's just all over the shop. The receivers, Bateman are just picking him up, and Andrews getting involved now, likely. They're just moving the football around and scoring points. They can't stop that. Now, the defensive side have been allowing more points too, but can the Browns offense, which hasn't scored 20 points yet, I know Zay knows that, so I don't need to say it again, but like, can they match up to that? They need to make this game a frustrating game for Lamar Jackson. They got to confuse him or rush him or blitz him or something like that, or get Myles Garrett in there somehow, some way. They have to just slow him down and like you guys said in the previous episode, not allow Derrick Henry to take over the game. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think, and I think these kind of matches, they shouldn't be. They should never think, oh, I'm going to go run because the Browns are playing not good football right now. I'm going to run over them in that sense. But it's hard to say, they are the best team in football right now. Like the Chiefs are just sneaking away with wins, but the Ravens are dominating teams and playing really good football on offense and playing MVP football, 5 TDs. And I was kind of like, look, I've always liked Derrick Henry from being a football fan for the Tennessee Titans. And I was kind of hoping, he'd just have like an off year or something like that. But he's not. He's almost near 1,000 yards. And he's just super physical and strong and just runs you over. So, and that's the way that, and Sam will talk about more too. Like that's the way their coach is just built. They're just built physicality. They're just no mucking around. Play. What do you guys say? Play like a Raven. You know what I mean? You guys are just built into that culture. So you're going to have the us against the world mentality, even though you are the best team in football right now. So that's hard to see for us. I want to see a loss. If we get a win by the Browns, then they can catch up one. The Browns are almost so does Zim.
Oh, so, Browns, let's do it, Browns.
Relax.
I want to see a three point win for the Browns, but I just don't. I don't think so. I think the Ravens going to win this one, maybe by 10 points over that.
Zim, talk to me. The Ravens keep it rolling.
Is that how you do it, Zim?
Dog pound?
Come on, let's go, Browns. Let's get on. Like, you say you don't want to tank. So we need to see where you're at. I feel like I need to come to Cleveland and give you guys a pep talk or something. We need you, Browns.
I'm just waiting to come down to the Natty and kick it with you so I can get that Cincinnati treatment, man. That's all I'm looking for.
It's not as great as you think. We'll have drinks on me. Well, I'll make sure we find the drinks, but sometimes it works out good, sometimes not so much. I need the Browns to win this game. I know I was reading the chat. I just don't give people the impression I'm reading the chat because then that gives them more ammunition to keep on typing. I just find it very crazy that people have really counted my team out and really don't care about anything that the Bengals have accomplished in the last 3 years of football. I just really think that is crazy. I need to catch these guys right here so that I can go back and remind people. And of course, the Bengals need to win as well too. I don't think the Browns are going to win this game, though. I do think that there is a chance, though, that I think Jameis Winston could look strong in this game. I want to ask Sam a question. Have you seen a game outside of that Bills game where Derrick Henry got, going early?
Going early? No. Teams definitely sell their soul to stop the run, and then once they get that big lead, then they can use him to kind of close it out. So other than that Bills game, no.
See, that's the thing, man. It's just – part of me, like that, when you were talking about, earlier, Zay, about like the Ravens in the playoffs, I do think that they're going to get themselves in a situation where everybody's talking leading up into our game. It was Derrick Henry. And for 4 quarters, I was like, where is he at? You know what I'm saying? And you got to weather the storm early. And I do think that the Browns had the capabilities to weather that storm early. And they got the corners. There aren't that many teams that can match up. Like they have guys, like they could put Emerson on Andrews. They could put a bigger corner on them. And they have the secondary, let's not forget that they spent a lot of money on this defense. They have the JOKs that could go sideline to sideline. They got some of the pieces that could do it. I just don't know that Jameis Winston, a lot like Baker Mayfield, if he could play mistake-free football. And that's the biggest issue. And once you make a mistake, the Ravens make you pay for it. I got the Ravens in this game by, like Mark said, probably like 10 points or so like that. But I do think that the Derrick Henry thing is so crazy because there's not that many teams that could do what I'm saying. You got to be like the Chiefs with a McDuffie and what's his name when they had Snead in the playoffs and everything like that. You got to have a cornerback group like the Browns, or you got to have an up front like the Steelers. So the Browns are one team that I think if they had it offensively for one Sunday, they could kind of shock the world, but I just don't think Jameis Winston is going to play enough mistake-free football to do so.
Sam, talk to me. How's it go down? Another dominant win for your Ravens, or could we see an upset alert here in the division?
There's a slight chance for an upset alert, and here's why. One, Deshaun Watson's not playing. I mean, that's an addition by subtraction, in my opinion. He's just not playing good football, so they get a better quarterback. How much better? We don't know. Their play calling has shifted. Stefanski's not calling the plays anymore, so the Ravens really don't know what the Browns are going to bring to the table on Sunday, something they've had in the past with other teams, obviously, with weeks of research to do. So that kind of makes me nervous. The Ravens, even though they play better on defense on Monday Night Football, they still have those communication issues that cause those lapses where you see White score a touchdown scot-free, where you see Evans with the guy nowhere near him catch the touchdown in the corner of the end zone. So those things make me nervous, having the Ravens game plan for a situation that they really don't have much film to game plan for as far as what the Browns can do. On defense, I talked about it. Myles Garrett's an issue. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Even though he didn't show much last week against the Bengals, he still has that capability to disrupt things on the offense. So it could be a situation where the Ravens are, like you mentioned, them struggling early and maybe having to bring out Derrick Henry because they're down 7 points. And you know how the Ravens are. When they're down, they're bringing Justice Hill. So that is an issue that possibly could be an issue. I think one thing the Browns shouldn't have done is trade Amari Cooper to the Bills. I mean, having Amari Cooper go to the Bills definitely stagnates what they're able to do on offense. Now they have Jerry Jeudy and not much else. So the corners are probably not going to be too worried. And the Ravens corners are probably a little banged up. Marlon Humphrey dealing with a knee issue. They got guys. I think Nate Wiggins is also dealing with an issue. So he didn't practice early this week. So there are things in the Browns' favor. I just don't see them getting it done. I think the Ravens are just still too powerful of a team on offense to get things going. I think Winston has the ability to make some mistakes. If he plays mistake-free, if he's able to launch it and these corners aren't, as I mentioned, not communicating, then there's a chance it could be a bit of a tug and push going early on in this game. So there's a chance, but I just don't see it. The offense is just too bombastic, too gnarly for any team to handle. The Browns do have that familiarity, so I give them a little bit of credit. I think 9.5 points is a lot, but I still think they get the job done. I think they cover it. I think they win.
So you're saying there's a chance. The question, Zay, is there a chance? Talk to me.
Where do I want to go with this, man? I don't even know how I want to go with this. Fun fact before I guess I go on. We played Derrick Henry really well. He's played us 5 times. He's averaged a total of 36 yards on 3 yards per carry. He's had one good game against us. That was the opening day when we thought we were here in 2019 with Baker Mayfield, and he blew the doors off us with a 75-yard reception. So the Browns have a good scheme for Derrick Henry. Now, granted, this is a whole different offense. This is a whole different system. This is a whole different situation. You're playing the best team in the league, the best offense in the league right now. Different standards. I think where I look to the guy that always finds a way to make our lives a living hell is at the tight end position. Mark Andrews is Freddy Cougar. He's Jason. He's every a character imaginable when it comes to us. I don't know what it is against the Browns, but he likes to destroy us. So I think this is going to be one of those games where this is going to be a great test to see how locked in our defense still is, because like I come on here and say every week, it's one thing to just lose games, but it's another thing to see that your defense still go out here and give 110%, which is something that the Browns teams have not done in recent years when the season is so far gone. So I'm interested to see how they handle this defense, especially when you have guys that voice their opinion after that, Achilles injury and fans were cheering, and Shelby Harris coming out saying, they lost some of the players in the locker room. It's like, this is going to be a real test to see how the season goes. So is there a chance? Sure. Like Sam alluded to, you're bringing in a whole new offense. You really don't know what to expect. I think when you have a wild card, it's a wild card for a reason, because sometimes you may hit gold and the other times you get what you get. So I'm expecting Jameis Winston to come out here and throw the ball 40 plus times. It'd be nice to see Nick Chubb get established a little bit, but if the Browns can't do anything on this offensive side of the ball, it's really not going to matter how good this defense looks. I'll be bold and I'll take the points, but this is the one week where I can't even foolishly say I'm going to take the Browns. I'll be wrong if we do, though. I'll enjoy it.
But you think they cover? You think they keep it within double digits at least?
Until the defense until they fully show me they're checked out, I'll respect them and give them the points. So, yeah, give me the points.
You got to be able to run the football against the Ravens, too. And that was another thing. I thought Chubb looked bad. Somebody said he thought he looked good. I thought he looked bad. I thought he didn't look like he was ready to come back yet.
I mean, I just think that alludes to everything else. Everyone wanted to pin this on Deshaun Watson when in reality, this is our offensive line is atrocious. Like, stress it enough how bad losing Callahan was. Like it literally was the worst thing to happen to this franchise. You could put it up there with the Deshaun Watson thing. It's that bad. Like obviously the money and all that factors into it, but there's more than just Deshaun Watson, and we will find out these next few weeks.
That we will. Looking forward to seeing what Jameis Winston looks like with the Browns. I can't lie. Jameis Winston's one of my all-time favorite players. The dude is the most entertaining guy on the planet. I don't know how you couldn't love Jameis Winston. We'll see what he's got out on the field for the Browns against these Ravens this upcoming weekend. Let's stay in the 1 p.m. window where Zim's Bengals are at home as a 1-point favorite right now on BetUS against the Philadelphia Eagles, who rolled the New York Giants this past week. Saquon Barkley went off in his homecoming game against the New York Giants, over 175 rush yards. Dude was an absolute beast, and he'll look to try to carry that performance into the Bengals game, where Cincinnati's coming off of that 7-point victory over the Cleveland Browns. So 1-point favorite are the Bengals at home over these Philadelphia Eagles. Mark, I'll start with you. This is an intriguing game outside of the conferences here. Who do you think takes it, the Eagles or the Bengals?
I think it's a tough one because obviously, what are the Bengals, 3-4 or something like that, right in the middle. So I'm pretty keen to see what Zim wants to say too about this game, because they're at home. Can they get back to winning football? Can they start to catch up to us? I know he wants the Browns to win, but the Eagles have won 2 in a row. Saquon Barkley's playing really good football. If Hurts can get out of his own way and then there's not too many sacks, can they make it a game where it's like, is it a shootout, 7-7, 14-14? I'm going to obviously choose the Eagles, but I wouldn't be so, right. Oh, there might be one time. There's probably never. But look, I think the Eagles also, they're trying to catch up to the Commanders. Commanders have been a bit of a shock too, right, this season. So they're trying to catch up to take care of the NFC East. But this could be one of those ones where the Bengals defense and the home crowd gets around and says, you know what, this is going to be a hard day for the Eagles. This is not an easy game either to really choose. I wouldn't even really put money on this game. That's close. But but now they're getting back. I think Devontae Smith coming back, or one of them came back the other week. Yeah, so they've got some of the receivers back. They've got Barkley's going off. I'm going to have to just say probably like by 3 points. I'd say the Eagles win by 3 points, but at the same time, you really could say the Bengals can win this game and come and give Joe Burrow the ball last, go down the field. They roll from the sunset. I'm really angry. Zim's really happy. You know, that could happen too.
Zay, I'll swing it to you. Who takes it, the Eagles or the Bengals?
This is a tough game, man. You can flip a coin, really. It fits right with my narrative when I talked about when we were sitting here and everyone's panicking about the Bengals. Like, this is setting up for these guys to make a run. Like, it feels like the Bengals win this game, but Saquon Barkley's playing so well, and I think this is the key and the X factor in this game is if Barkley is going to have a game, A.J. Brown is still playing phenomenal football. Devontae Smith, that duo is just so good. And I think Zim, correct me if I'm wrong, the defense was the secondary was the thing you were most worried about this year, right? So or no?
What in the NFL? Not really the run defense to me, the defensive front.
Right. So I that's why I think the key, like I said, goes to Barkley. I just think if Barkley can get off and they can find a way to control it, the key is going to be to keep the ball out of Burrow's hands at home. I mean, I think there's a little revenge factor in this game too. You flash back to Joe Burrow when he got injured. It's against this very team. So there's going to be a little chip on his shoulder that he's going to want to go out there and, shake that off, I imagine. So that plus 2.5 looks like it's going to be one of those games where it's field goal at the end. I'm going to go with my narrative and I'm going to stick with it. I think the Bengals squeeze this one out.
What?
And I think they're going to set up to make this AFC North a battle like everyone anticipated it was going to be.
Love it. Sam, what do you think is going to happen?
I would love for the Bengals to lose this game. I really would. I think Saquon Barkley, as Zim mentioned, has been playing very well. As Zay mentioned, has been playing very well. A.J. Brown, they got the pieces. It just seems like the Bengals are going to win this game, and here's why. I think the Bengals offense still has that potential to be that high-powered offense, and if you score those points early, you're at home. keep Saquon Barkley off the field. Do I trust Hurts enough to lead a comeback? We're having the conversations we were having about Lamar Jackson early in his career, and we're having it now with Hurts. I don't know if he's the quarterback that can come from behind and beat this Bengals team. I will love for the Eagles to beat the Bengals, to keep them a couple of games behind us as we try and claw our way up the top of the AFC North. But give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals to win.
Can I ask you a quick question real quick? I was going to say, can I ask you a question real quick? Do you feel, as a fan, more comfortable maybe playing like not a big league? Like, would you feel more comfortable playing from behind versus playing with a little bit of a lead, seeing as though the past couple of weeks, like you've alluded to, where why don't we just do this to get rid of the ball? Like, because we know how good Joe Burrow is and his game elevates in that aspect. Would you rather be down at 3 points, a touchdown in that crunch moment? Or would you rather have that 7-10 point lead and see your offense take the foot off the gas and potentially lose the game?
That's a great question. For my psyche, watching a football game, it makes me nervous when we're down. But it would, from a play calling standpoint, I know I would get my best from the offense. So it's really no, right or wrong. I just think they got this issue where they're trying to replicate in the 2022 season. That's the season I keep on talking about. Like, yes, they went to a Super Bowl in 2021, but in 2022, they went on a 10-game win streak and went crazy. And in that, they would get out on leads on people really good, but the defense I thought was a lot better. And then they would just sit on a lead. Like when we played the Bills in the playoffs or whatever, I thought that they could have scored a lot of points, but they didn't. They just kind of coast once they get a lead, just kind of let teams kind of hang around. And I don't know why they do that, but they play the clock analytics of it, and I hate it. Like, I don't know.
So what are your thoughts? What's going down on Sunday?
I think the Bengals win this game for sure. On my end, I'm a Bengals fan, and I everybody's talking about Saquon, and I do believe that, but I really think more so the deep ball of like just throwing it up to AJ Brown. There's a matchup that I think is going to be like pay-per-view, and it's Cam Taylor-Britt versus AJ Brown. He loves playing physical wide receivers. So he played DK Metcalf, and I'm talking about they were fighting on the field. When we played, I mean, when he had to play the Bills, like he jammed Diggs, and he didn't like there's so many different matchups. But when he gets to his hands on like a bigger, stronger physical wide, like even a Rashee Rice one early in the season, he has the Odell Beckham Jr. pick and stuff like that. He does better against more physical wide receivers. So I'm very intrigued by that matchup. But I feel like that guy has a bigger chance of hurting us than Saquon. If you really go back and look at the Bengals, like after the kid from the Giants went crazy for like 150 or something the week before, the Bengals shut him down. They got their defensive line back. I talked about when we played the Ravens, Derrick Henry for 4 quarters was straight. Then he gets the big run in overtime. Then this past week, I thought they looked good in run defense against Nick Chubb. I'm not really as worried about the run as much. When our CB2 went down Dax Hill, I'm a little bit more worried about the secondary because I like our corners like DJ Turner, and these are high draft picks, like first and second round picks, but they're not really battle tested, so I don't have the confidence with those guys like that. I will give you a stat, though. Joe Burrow over his last 11 games against NFC opponents is 10-1. And also in the all-white uniforms that we're wearing, we are undefeated. We've only worn them 4 times, and we've undefeated in those uniforms. So I'm gonna go with the uniforms. Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that helmet. I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this one. The Bengals have won 3 out of the last 4 games. So I know we started off 0-3, but we won 3 out of 4. And the one out of that 4 was that Ravens game that they totally botched the damn kick, and I'm still mad about that every day of my life. So I got the Bengals winning this by like 3 points. I think it's too close. I'm gonna be mad as hell that it's even close. Like if I have an opportunity with a lead to get a bigger one and they don't do it. So we'll see though. Yeah, I am a little nervous about this one, but it's major because if the Bengals can get back to 500 at 4-4, I think that they have a lot of opportunities to make some damage.
If the Bengals come out and win this game, the AFC North becomes so much more scarier, and I think the Steelers should feel that pressure the most because now you're talking as you go to that Bet US odds and AFC North and stuff talking like that. There's still a lot of AFC North football left. We got one more Bengals Ravens game left that could dictate seeding and stuff like that. One of these games, Baltimore gonna have to slip up and lose. It's scary hours upon if Cincinnati can find a way to win this game because, like you said, That Baltimore game could have very easily been a win, and they're talking about 4 in a row going on 5. So this is right into the narrative like we talked about at the beginning of this, season, or at the 0-3 point, I should say.
And I haven't played Mark at all yet.
Yep, that's also huge.
So me and Mark got 2 battles that we haven't even got to.
No doubt. And this game certainly will be one of the better matchups of the weekend. Looking forward to it. And like you mentioned, if the Bengals win it, look out. Right back in the thick of things at 500. All right, fellas. Dun, 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 dun. The Steelers back under the lights for a second consecutive week. These 5-2 Steelers looking to remain at the top of the division alongside the Baltimore Ravens, and they're in a good spot to do it. Right now on BetUS, these Pittsburgh Steelers at home on Monday Night Football are a 6.5-point favorite against the New York Giants, who just got destroyed by the Philadelphia Eagles. It looked like the Giants might be a bit better than we thought. Certainly defensively, the Giants are damn good in that regard. The offense is so poor, however, that collectively this team has struggled throughout the year. Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson coming off of a 37-point outing, drubbing the New York Jets in the second half, winning that game by 22. Pittsburgh's looking to keep it rolling. They should be able to do it against the Giants, but could they be playing a spoiler type role in Pittsburgh, these G-men? Zay, what do you think about this one?
As much as I want to sit here and say they're playing spoiler, it feels more like this is the blow it up game for Daniel Jones. Like, it just feels like he's a ticking time bomb. I know they just gave him a contract or whatever, but it is what it is down there in New York. I just don't see, other than the Steelers being undisciplined and getting a lot of penalties, which that never really happens. Like, this is gonna have to be one of those games where the Giants strike a little gold on offense and they get a little bit of help from the Steelers, whether it be from the refs contributing or they shoot themselves in the foot. But I just don't see how the Steelers lose. And quite frankly, 6.5 seems like it may be a little bit too low. So give me the Steelers, unfortunately, and give me the spread. I'll lay the points.
Sam, how you feeling about this one on Monday night?
I really want them to lose. Really badly. I can't deny it. I want the Steelers to lose.
You just want them out of your way, man, right?
I want them to, goodness, we're the best team in the league and we still are neck and neck with the Steelers. How? So I want them to lose, but I just, again, as Zay mentioned, I don't see it. I think the Giants are better defensively than the Jets, I think, in some regards. So I don't think Russell Wilson's going to have quite the game he had against the Jets last week, but the Giants offense is terrible. And you got to be a special quarterback to be able to handle the blitz and the pressure simulated and otherwise that the Steelers bring to the forefront. So I don't think that Daniels is that guy. So I don't expect the Giants to do well in this game. I agree with Zay. I think 6.5 might be a little too low. Give me the Steelers. Unfortunately, they're 6-2.
Zim, what are your thoughts?
I got Steelers, man. I will say this, though. The Russell Wilson is very small sample size. I thought some things did work in his favor in that game. I know, Mark, you were telling me about the Russell Wilson's the better one. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'll be wrong because I said Justin Fields, I think, is the best chance long term. Short term, maybe Russell is. I just don't think you win a bowl with him. And to me, that's what it's all about. And I don't know. Like, on a week-to-week basis, we'll see. But he has these moments. I thought, like, if you look at his stats when he was with the Broncos, they're not bad. It's just some moments in there that I think we're going to find out, and we're going to see what he's made of. The interior of the Giants is no joke. It gave Burrow some problems or whatever.
Give us problems.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence is playing like defensive player of the year.
He's a 9 sacks.
Yeah,
as a D tackle, that's Aaron Donald-esque.
And on the other side is Burns, who is playing out of his mind, and they got Ojulari or whatever.
Is Thibodeau back? Is Thibodeau back too?
No, I don't think so. If he's back,
I don't even see him on the injury report. He might be back.
No, I think he's on IR short term.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But they got some guys that can cause some problems up front, and I think it's a very low scoring game. I think whatever happened last week to blow that score up, I didn't see the end of the game. I know it was like pretty tight a little bit earlier with the Eagles game, whatever. But I think this game is going to be a tight game, like 17-10 or something like that. The Giants underrated. Like they have some really strong man corners out there, and then along with it, their defensive front, their interior is pretty nasty, and they run these crazy stunts like early in games with Burns. And if you go look, they had some success in some games like previously, but I still give the nod to the Steelers in this one. I think they win, like I said, 17-10.
Mark, talk to me. How's it going down on Monday?
Well, let's stay there for a minute because our offensive line's really kind of broken at the moment. So we have Dan Moore left tackle, which a lot of Steelers fans didn't like for many years, but he's been the most consistent one at left tackle. CMI left guard, he's come back from injury last week. He's playing pretty well. But our center, Zach Frazier's out. Now we're playing a guy called Ryan McCollum, and I don't even know where he's from. Right, but
man down under.
Yeah, he ain't from there. But he's played 2 years in the league, and we picked him up from the Texans last year from the practice squad. So he's been filling in twice now. Now Russell Wilson, no matter what, unless Mike Tomlin goes super crazy and he plays field because they know how crazy
that would be crazy.
I would be like, what team am I watching? Because you just can't predict it, right? Now Mike Tomlin probably is going to go with Russell Wilson. Then on the other side, you have Mason McCormick, who's a sixth rounder or fifth rounder from this year.
Very talented, though. He's good.
This dude's a bit of a rogue raider. He will punch you in the mouth. So he's fun to watch. Then Broderick Jones is filling in for Troy Fautanu, and he's been playing some, not the best reps at right tackle. So that defensive line versus us, if they can take advantage of that, then it's going to be a hard time. But I guess when you look from a worldview, you go, the Steelers should win this game. Like it's a poor Giants. And what would frustrate me the most if the Giants do win this game is if they allow Danny Dimes to run around and get 10, 15 yards and not take care of business and not knock him down. But our safety Elliott has been playing really good football in timing those runs, picking up the running back in the back or the quarterback. So our defense, communication-wise, with Minka, TJ, Cam, these leaders are all kind of stepped up. Whereas this game last year, I probably would have said, "Oh, hang on, maybe there might be a bit of an upset." This should be hopefully like a comfortable win, maybe like a 10-point win. But I am a bit worried about the offensive line in that sense. And then, are we going to start slow? The Steelers always seem to start slow and then pick it up. Can Russell Wilson bounce back and do 2 games in a row of like consistent good football and show the NFL? Because there's a lot of talking around. It's still not the Steelers fans, but NFL's like, are the Steelers for real? And like Sam said, how are the Steelers 5-2? Show the NFL why we're 6-2, why we're keeping up. But if you blow this one,
you heard what he did. He said, "So the NFL why we're 6-2." He already speaking it into existence.
The thing is, and I'll say this thing: if they lose this game, it's going to be the longest 2 weeks of my life because we're on a break, and we've got to start again. We've got to be like, and then we've got to sweep it away. But if they win this game, you get your players back, you get healthy again. You're on the bye, you get ready for the Commanders, get ready for the big stretch. This is every football game shouldn't be like, it's easy. It should be like, okay, let's get ready to see these players play. But you're right, Zim's right. Defensive line. What's his name? Dexter. What's his name?
Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah. He's 9 sacks. 9 sacks already. So
I'll throw you some bell. Their left tackle is out too, and Andrew Thomas too. So
TJ got to step up.
Yeah. So you got some guys that can get after them too.
Before we even got into the season, me and Zim were both in agreement that we thought Justin Fields was the more dangerous quarterback for the Steelers, But I think at this point in time, when you look at the record, you look at the circumstances, you look at everything, the context that surrounds it, man, I think Russell Wilson might be the best guy for the job moving forward. You want to talk about December football. You want to talk about when football matters most. Justin Fields has never been a part of that. It's a different beast when you mix in the fact that it's December football, that's meaningful games, and you mix that in the fact that it's the AFC North, and these games are going to become a little bit more tougher. I just think Russell Wilson, all of the turmoil that he's been through, the coach that he has, you don't have Pete Carroll egoing this guy to do certain things. They might, like Mark said, man, he was always QB number 1, and this may have worked out the way that they all maybe wanted it to.
Just one quick thing. With this team now from a few years ago, there's a bit more hype, a bit more camaraderie, a bit more like brotherhood around it because they're all cheering, they're all kind of happy. is a bit wasn't the same with the Kenny Pickett and the Trubisky and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been saying from the start, it's always been Wilson number one because Mike Tomlin has trust in Wilson number one. But at the same time, to Steelers fans out there, it's okay to like both. You don't need to make one against the other. It's okay to have Justin Fields be QB2. And if this works out, you just got your QB2 4-2 record. That's pretty good. You just gave Russell Wilson a short season now, right? He's only going to play the next 10 games and maybe playoffs. So that's kind of that's how it's worked out. It's been a pretty good coaching move by playing Fields. Go back to Wilson. But then Yinzers, they're crazy over there, dude. The minute they start losing, it's boo. They're nuts. Not me.
There you have it, folks. The Week 8 picks are locked in. I can't wait to see how it all goes down, as I know you all can't either. And we will let you know how it all went down and recap it all next week on the Week 8 recap show. So in order to be notified of that episode, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button on your way out the door. Also, as you are heading out, make sure to take advantage of the link in the description below, which will take you over to either the Google Play or the App Store and allow you to download the Autograph app. You download it, you enter the promo code RTS. Then from there, you select your favorite team. That's going to set you up with a personalized fandom feed with all of the top tweets, podcasts, YouTube shows, and articles surrounding your favorite team. And as you consume the content, which you're already doing, you will earn fan coins within the Autograph app that can be used towards jerseys, merch, and even tickets to your favorite team's games. So make sure to download that app. It's completely free. The link's in the description below, and the promo code is RTS. Also, speaking of promo codes, YouTube 150, the promo code on BetUS, that gets you 150% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first deposit, and 125% bonus on your next two deposits after that. For Mark, Zay, Sam, and Zim, I'm your host, Zbot. Thanks so much for tuning in to the AFC North Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.